Hi guys, welcome back to this retro Manchester City save. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and here in episode 29 we have a really big game. It's away against West Ham, but the reason it's so big is if we win it, we can qualify for the UEFA Cup. Um, I mean, what a season we're having with with 6 games remaining. We sit in fourth place in the Premier League at the moment, and I can't believe how well we've done this season, to be honest. It's been absolutely remarkable, especially considering some of the results we've had against the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea. We've beaten Newcastle and Leeds this season as well, and it's just been a phenomenal campaign. Uh, when we're looking at it, we're not going to be showing the Manchester Derby this time round, as we've already seen that game earlier in this season. But we'll have the West Ham game away, and then we'll have a home game against relegation threatened Tottenham. Either one of these games could secure us passage into Europe for next season, which would be a huge achievement in itself. But we've already finished in the top half of the Premier League, 3 years ahead of the predicted schedule set by the board. So we've already achieved way beyond what we were expected to. But with our current form, I'm hoping that we can continue in the same manner that we have been. We've suffered a few injuries last time out against Derby, but we did manage a 1-0 win. But Cal Court, Kevin Davis, and Bakary Sagna all got injured in that game, so we have had to rotate a bit, as you can see. And Mark Smith is playing at right back, and he has this throw for Humphries now. Sean Wright Phillips looks for Damien Duff, and into Craig Bellamy. Oh, so close, and Rame. It managed to get it clear, and it remains 0-0. Craig Bellamy, by the way, because Calcourt's had a couple of injuries this season. Bellamy's been playing up front for us, and honestly, he's been outstanding. He's had some really good games this season, and he scored some vital goals for us. Hopefully, he can do the same again today, and we can confirm our qualification for Europe. A draw, I don't think, will be enough. Chelsea and Arsenal have got games in hand, but even in defeat, if Chelsea lose their next game, we may qualify. Their next game, by the way, is tomorrow, which is against Liverpool. So they've got a really tough game to try and keep in with a chance of them qualifying. Ward here to Lovenkrands. Looks over the top here for Darren Huckabee. Barry does well to clear to Yaya Toure. Now Smith. Just holding on to it a little bit here. Michael Smith. Into Jagielka. I keep calling him Michael Smith. It's Mark Smith. I need to try and remember that for the future. Scott Parker into Yaya Toure. Looks over the top here for Damien Duff. Big opportunity. It's Damien Duff around the goalkeeper. And he puts it in. Huge goal for this season. Damien Duff with his 10th goal of the campaign. Brilliant stuff. We have a 1 goal lead here. And the Europa qualification is looking very promising right now. And I mean, like I say, what a season we've had, considering it's our first back in the Premier League and we were expected to be fighting to avoid relegation. We've absolutely destroyed those critics and predictions, and we are high flying with this young squad. And hopefully, with this game today, we can continue to play well and finish in a UEFA Cup spot. I'm a little bit conflicted. If we qualified for the Champions League, I would be absolutely over the moon. But at the same time, I kind of don't want us to qualify for the Champions League. We've done so well this season, but I think the Champions League is probably going to be a step too far if we qualified for it. And I'd be quite happy with the UEFA Cup, to be quite honest, as West Ham just clipped the crossbar there. If we get in the UEFA Cup, I would be over the moon with that. Champions League, I think, is beyond us at the minute, and we've not got the quality, I don't think. But saying that, it's a European adventure. Who knows what it's going to entail? But I think UEFA Cup would be better for us. As a team, we can then warm up ourselves in a European competition a little bit. But saying that, if we qualify for the Champions League, we might end up dropping down to the UEFA Cup if we play well enough. So there's certainly options there. Um, but obviously, after these 2 games against West Ham and Tottenham, we'll come back for the last 2 games of the season, and that could potentially decide whether we qualify for the UEFA Cup or the Champions League. And Ashley Cole is into the penalty area and he's fired it into Rame there and he's managed to place it over the bar. Really good goalkeeping from him. And Yaya Toure, with the resulting corner, looks to whip it in. It's easily cleared. Jagielka does well to get onto it, and it's Scott Parker. Back to Ashley Cole, and the highlight ends there. Here's Jagielka now, into Smith. Smith with support if he needs it. Finds Jagielka, now Gareth Barry. Looks over the top here. Damien Duff down this left-hand side. Looking good here for a potential cross if he can get it in. He plays back to Ashley Cole, who does cross. Sean Wright Phillips is in there. It's hit the crossbar and it's cleared by Henriksen. Ashley Cole tries to keep it alive, but is unable to do so. It's a really, really positive first half. Both sides are creating a lot of chances, though, so this is far from done, this game at the moment. We're playing really well, but we need to continue to be strong defensively. We want to... I mean, if we can qualify today, it eases pressure on some of the other games. But that game against Tottenham is big for both sides because obviously, depending on the result today, I mean, every game's big for us at the moment in our race for European football. UEFA Cup, like I say, more than happy with. But if we're going to be chasing a Champions League place, we need to be winning these last few games of the campaign. And it could come down to those last two games. But here's Victor Sanchez with an opportunity to cross, and it's Darren Huckabee. No, it's not. Nicky Weaver, really well played by him, comes out and claims it superbly. He just holds on to it as well. Just lays it out to Jagielka. Now Mark Smith. Looking forward. Finds Yaya Toure, who loses out to Peter Lovenkrands. It was a poor pass to pick out from Smith, and Lovenkrands strikes, but it's over the bar, and it remains 1-0 here. Well, considering I was bigging up Craig Bellamy at the start of the game, he's not done anything today so far. He almost wins possession there, but Henriksen beats him in the air, and this is Del Campo. Almost losing out to Damien Duff. Henriksen looks over the top. Gareth Barry does well, finds Jagielka, and now Weaver into Gareth Barry again. Now Ashley Cole has got support ahead of him if he can find it. Plays it forward to Damien Duff. Victor Sanchez gets in on it. Finds Trevor Sinclair. Back to Del Campo and now Henriksen. Again looking over the top. And Darren Huckabee is going to beat Gareth Barry to it here. Victor Sanchez to Lovenkrands. What a save by Nicky Weaver, and Barry clears. And Gareth Barry went to sleep there, really. And he's got to wake up a little bit more in that manner. We are going to make a substitution. Craig Bellamy hasn't had a good game. We're going to bring Antoine Sibierski on for an opportunity up front. He's not played too much football, so it's a big opportunity for him. And I think we're going to bring Andy Johnson on as well. In fact, we're going to push Sibierski back to that right-hand side, I think, and put Andy Johnson on up front. In terms of everyone else, I'm quite happy with the way things are going, so I think we'll leave it at that for the time being. Andy Johnson hasn't had much luck in front of goal recently. He started the season really well. He had an injury at one point and he's come back and he's really struggled in front of goal. Every time we've played him, he's just not quite had that finishing product. But he is still young. He's got opportunities and he will have opportunities to play as well. Humphries into Sibierski. And Andy Johnson is in here. Andy Johnson to end his goal drought. And he does. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from him. He used his pace to perfection there. And Andy Johnson has ended that goal drought as I was talking about it. Brilliant stuff for him. And it's, more importantly, secured us a 2-goal lead now. And in this race for the UEFA Cup spot, that is going to be so important in this game. As Del Campo hits the crossbar there with a free kick. Brilliant strike. But it remains 2-0 with 25 minutes to go. We've played so well in this game overall, really. I mean, yes, West Ham have created a lot of chances, but we have taken ours, which is the key. Scott Parker's going to come off. He is struggling for fitness. Michael Brown is going to come on. And Gareth Barry's also struggling. We're going to bring Matt Upson on at centre-back. He's not seen too much game time. And I think we're going to take Richie Humphries off as well. He's had a poor game. And Danny Murphy can come on as well for the last 20 minutes. And as we push on, hopefully we can hold on to this 2-goal lead and secure that UEFA Cup spot. I mean, like I say, I can't believe how well we've done this season. It's been so good. All the players that we've brought in have gelled superbly with the rest of the squad, and the players have bought into the way I want to play, and it's just really, really, really good. I couldn't have envisaged anything better this season. In terms of following on from this, if we could qualify for Europe again, that would be phenomenal. for next season, for example, but it's going to be a lot harder because we're in Europe, so there's going to be a lot more games to be played, and we're going to have to work a lot harder. Here's Michael Bridges with a strike, and it's a good save again from Nicky Weaver. And looking at the squad that we've built, I don't think I'm going to need to make many changes in the summer unless players leave the club. But even then, we've got such a big squad and we've got some good young players coming through. There's opportunities knocking, and players, like I say, they can work their way into the squad. We've got a good, solid setup here now, and with this, we've won 2-0. We've qualified for the UEFA Cup. What an outstanding achievement for this season. I can't believe how we've managed it, to be honest, but it has been such a solid season. I mean, we're 18 points clear of Chelsea. They can actually still catch us, technically, but if they lose to Liverpool, it is done. It is all done. And we've done our job. We've got that win away at West Ham, and all we have to do now is go again. And if Chelsea somehow manage to beat Liverpool, then we will have to either draw or beat Spurs. Now, last time out we battered Spurs, but it finished 0-0, so I'm hopeful that this time we can get a good win. Right, I'm just going to get through this weekend, and then we will come back for that home game against Tottenham. Okay guys, here we go for this home game against Tottenham. Manchester United, by the way, are unbeaten in the opening 32 league games. They haven't lost yet this season. So we have the chance to qualify for Europe with this game against Tottenham, of course. And then we play Manchester United next. I'm hoping it's going to be very difficult, but I am hoping that we can stop that unbeaten run. But with the way that they're playing, I can't see it, unfortunately. Chelsea have lost against Liverpool in the early kickoff, which has already secured our passage into European football. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. I I am so happy with that, and it takes a lot of extra pressure off this game against Tottenham now. I think eventually we will have qualified anyway, just with how well we've played this season. I can't see us losing every game towards the end, but we have got some tough games coming up, especially near the end of the season. We've got the likes of Leeds, who are in for the Champions League places, amongst others. So we've got a lot of work to do still to end this season. Hopefully we can get another good result here, and we will really push on and cement ourselves in those European places. Like I said, we have already qualified, but after today's game, Newcastle will have 2 games in hand. It is so important that we win this game, because then the pressure is all on Newcastle for them to catch up to try and qualify for the Champions League. So, with that in mind, there's still a lot of pressure on this game, but hopefully we can do ourselves justice here. Here's Craig Bellamy doing well on that left-hand side into Yaya Toure. Ian Hart lofts it over the top, and it's foul for Danny Murphy. And I don't think originally he was looking at getting onto that, but he did well, and he was just unlucky with the strike. Bellamy to Danny Murphy. Damien Duff now. Serizuela does well and plays it back to Douglas. Here's Nonda. Well played by Jagielka and Barry. Now Sean Wright-Phillips on this right hand side. Plays it back to Mark Smith. Has support ahead of him. Here's Jagielka now. Frank Lampard back in the side after a little injury layoff. Loses out to Clark. Now Anderton. Plays it through beautifully here for Bošković. Good save by Nicky Weaver, and Jagielka clears to Lampard, who clears it further for Duff. And unfortunately, the highlight ends there. Tottenham, despite being near the bottom of the table, they have had a bit of a resurgence in form recently. They have won a couple of their games, so it's not going to be an easy game, this one, by any means. We have to play well. A draw is enough, but with Newcastle having 2 games in hand, if they win both of their games in hand, as they sit on 62 points, they'll be up to 68 and only 1 point behind us. So if we win this game, we've got a 3 point gap, and that is what we want. That is what we're aiming for today. Like I say, I prefer to be in the UEFA Cup, but if we qualify for the Champions League, I mean, it would be a phenomenal achievement, and I would very much look forward to it for next season and see what kind of squad we can build. Here's Gareth Barry. Brilliant ball over the top. Dublin ended up cleared. I'm not sure if that's Dion Dublin playing centre back rather than up front there. I know he did play centre-back at one point, but that would be a bit of a novelty. Here's Nonda, through for Tottenham. It's Nonda, brilliant block by Gareth Barry and Nicky Weaver between the two of them. And it remains 0-0 as we go into half-time. It's been a bit of an on-off game, to be honest. We haven't created a lot ourselves, but we do have to do a little bit more in this game. Hopefully we can. And typically, like I said before, Bellamy has been outstanding this season when he's been playing up front. And yet, we've come on camera and he didn't do anything in the last game and he's done nothing in this game so far either. Hart with the clearance. Bellamy does well there though to get onto it. Needs support and he looks to switch it for Damien Duff. Sadizuela wins the header. Yaya Toure to Danny Murphy. Now Jagielka. This is Smith. Now Yaya Toure. Lampard over the top. And Bellamy could be onto this. It's Craig Bellamy. Almost beat Douglas to it. And it's going to be cleared. Here's Darren Anderson. Brought down by Yaya Toure. And Yaya Toure has got a second yellow card here. This is why I don't leave yellow carded players on the pitch a lot of the time. We have got some serious thinking to do now. I think, well, to be fair, I say that. I think what we're going to have to do is just drop Danny Murphy back into the central midfield. We can keep with the system as is. But that is a blow to be down to 10 men. We've not had a red card for a long time. And yeah, in a game as important as this, where we could potentially be pushing on for Champions League places, Yaya Toure has let us down there. Here's Sherwood. Really well played by Ian Hart to win that. Here's Damien Duff now to Gareth Barry. Damien Duff looks over the top and Craig Bellamy's in behind. It's Craig Bellamy and Craig Bellamy scores. Brilliant stuff. We've just gone down to 10 men, but now we have something to hang on to as we look to extend the gap over Newcastle here for a place in a Champions League spot. Unbelievable stuff. Brilliant stuff there from Damien Duff and Craig Bellamy. And now, like I say, there's something to hold on to. Tottenham are hanging on by a thread at the bottom of the table at the moment. Depending on other results, they could drop back into that bottom three. As you can see, the bottom five are only separated by 2 points, and then there's quite a substantial gap to Forest. So that's going to go down to the wire as well at the bottom of the table. But as it stands, we're doing well. We have a 1-goal lead. We are looking at fitness a little bit here. Gareth Barry is on a yellow card. We don't want to take any risks now. Mark Smith is going to have to come off as well. And Danny Mills is going to come on. Damien Duff is going to come off as well, and we're going to bring Wayne Bridge on that left wing. And as I come back from making those changes, Nonda has just equalised for Spurs. I've completely messed that up. I was meant to pause the game during the substitutions, and it's 1-1 here. And that point could really be important for Tottenham because as it stood, they were dropping back down into the bottom three. Here's Dublin. We're going to demand a bit more as well from the side. Danny Murphy does well to win the challenge. Now Shaun Wright-Phillips looks over the top here and it's Wayne Bridge down this left-hand side. Craig Bellamy's arriving in the penalty area. He finds Bellamy. It's 2-1. He's done it again. Craig Bellamy. 2 goals for him today. We've restored our lead. And considering we're down to 10 men, we are doing extremely well here. Brilliant stuff. Craig Bellamy is dragging us into that top 4 as it stands. Nicky Weaver to Phil Jagielka. The press is high now from Tottenham. Lampard nods it on. It's Fester. Now Clark. Into Dublin. Dublin holds on to it. Now Berg Hestad. Well played there. John Terry to Danny Murphy. And now Ian Hart. Danny Murphy. Craig Bellamy has support on his left hand side if he can find it. He looked for Wright-Phillips instead. And Wright-Phillips has got to be careful here. I am going to make another change because Wright-Phillips is on a yellow card and we don't want any more nasty surprises. Sibierski is going to come on for him. And we're going to take Lampard off for Scott Parker as well. And hopefully we can hold on to this lead now. Danny Murphy looking over the top and it's Craig Bellamy. He's controlled it in behind the defender. Bellamy strikes and it's a good save from Douglas. Almost a hat-trick there, but it remains 2-1. And this is a huge, huge 3 points. Considering we were down to 10 men and we're fighting it out for this Champions League place. And it could potentially be a catalyst to sending Tottenham down as well. A huge, huge result for the boys. But it's not over yet. We've got a few minutes of added time left. Here's Danny Murphy to Craig Bellamy. Under pressure by 3 Tottenham players there. And this is Douglas. Lofts it over the top for Anderton. Ian Hart gets in on it and controls it superbly. And the space for Sibierski. And he's found Craig Bellamy in the centre. He's around the goalkeeper. Oh, he's hit the post. And it's gone wide. Unbelievable stuff. It's a corner though. And Sibierski's going to take. Sibierski looks to whip it in. Is it going to go toward the far post? John Terry's also in the centre. It's toward the far post and Bellamy almost got onto it. But Douglas did superbly. And it remains 2-1. And the minutes tick away. And we have a 9-point gap over Newcastle, who have 2 games in hand against us. But we have a 9-point gap over them now in that top 4 spot. Absolutely outstanding stuff. And hopefully we are in a really strong position. Look at that for a league table. I mean, first season back in the Premier League and we sat in 4th place. Unbelievable stuff from our point of view. I just I can't believe how well we've done this campaign. It has been absolutely phenomenal. And as we move forward, we're going to have a quick look to see how things shape up for this end part of the season. So we've actually got games against Everton, who are relegation threatened, and Nottingham Forest, as well as Manchester United. And the last game of the season is against Leeds, and that could decide whether we qualify for the Champions League or not. That is a huge game against Leeds. So we're going to skip past United and Forest. We'll come back for Everton and Leeds, and hopefully we will have some Champions League football to qualify for next season. Well guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I certainly have. It's been an absolute journey so far, this campaign. And please like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. I have got a new series potentially starting, which I'm looking at the moment, and hopefully I'll be able to sort something out for that in the future. And until then, I've really enjoyed doing this episode. It's so stressful though, I must admit, but it's been really, really good. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.